What's up, everybody, and welcome back to another video. And in this one, I'm going to show you the big question, the answer to the big question that I've been seeing on X and in my Telegram chat, as well as elsewhere. And this is a big question that I've seen from a lot of users of how are we going to have a protocol that protects the stakers, the people in the protocol, from a new protocol like DRAGONX or Matrix or Phoenix coming in and scooping up all the gains. And I'm going to show you how Torus does this for the staking side, okay? So a few things to make you understand in terms of how this little model that I've created is set up, okay? So first thing, I only inputted $1.75 million as the starting amount that this protocol would inject into the system as a base amount for its share of the pool. Each time that a total amount of Torus is calculated, which I've calculated over each of the 88 days based on the inflation that's coming into the system just from the Torus pool, what you would get would be the total over here. Now, each time there's a 5% fee in TitanX, which is based off of this number here of 2.5 billion. Now, I want to be clear that this is not necessarily the protocol amount to the protocol requirement for 100 power, creating with 100 power. This doesn't mean that 2.5 billion TitanX is going to be the number that the system is going to have, but I wanted to create a number where, based on the current price, the Torus price ends up around $1.75. So this is just a placeholder number. This is just a placeholder price, but just to illustrate the effects in the system. Now, one last thing I did, just as the overall setup, or giving you the understanding of the setup, is because this is a staking protocol that will be coming in to basically leverage Torus to benefit its own system, I made the assumption, or designed it, I guess you could say, where 30% of all of the Torus that it gets, or it has each time, is taken out from its pool and used to leverage up its own system, right? So each time it's removing 30% of the Torus that it gets, and it has to basically take 5% of the cost, right, to create this amount of tokens it wants to stake, that is removed each time, right? So you can see, you can kind of see where this is going already, right? You can see the numbers get pretty big here. So the point of this is to show you, and I'll just fix this real quick. Here we're going number, you can see that with all the numbers I have starting here. So basically comes in with $1.75 million as its starting amount, gets a million tokens up front, and it stakes them. We can see quickly here that with a rising Torus price, it's rising about 1% every 88 days, and the TitanX price rising 20% every 88 days, it really cannibalizes itself. You can see how much it has to basically pay out of its own pocket in order to keep staking, and how much it has to remove from its own buy and burn. What's crazy is this 5% fee actually starts to exceed what it's taking out in buy and burn. So you can see that here it would have to sell Torus each time into TitanX to then be able to even stake the tokens that it has. And this effectively makes this protocol cannibalize itself. Now, what you might be thinking is, okay, we could adjust these prices here to make it a little bit more aggressive, right? And we could go to 5% with Torus and make it go, a little bit more aggressive, and still it lasts a little bit longer. But the one thing I want to paint here as the picture is that this is the most inefficient way to use the system if you're only staking, right? This system was designed so that way when times are basically coming to the threshold of zero profitability, negative profitability, or it's just staking has higher profitability, that's when you stake. When the prices are high enough, then you want to create, because you're compounding. And both sides of staking and creating are compounding in two different ways based on where we are in price relative to the ROIs for each, and the price floor for the system. So our price floors and ceilings, right? So if you are playing Torus right, you're not just staking. You are creating and you're compounding when prices are high enough. So you're selling Torus into TitanX, and back you're creating again and earning, and you're compounding. And then when the prices are low, you are staking your tokens to continue to earn an ROI. So that way you are essentially compounding still but most likely in a smaller degree when the prices are low enough, right? So you can see here, it would just cannibalize itself. It might last a little while, so there'd be some cycles where we'd still be earning, right? It would do well, but over time, it would cost so much to come in and, be that protocol that effectively it would be a limited time protocol. It would only last so long. And so I hope this clears things up. If we were to say TitanX goes up faster and Torus stays behind, like if we were to go, let's say this is goes up by 30%, and we were to bring this all the way, where are we here? We're going up even faster. Boom. You can see it just cannibalizes itself very, very quickly over maybe 6 or 7. I guess it would be about 12 cycles here. It cannibalizes itself. So if you're a builder and you're going to build on Torus, I don't know why you'd build something that would just end up eating itself alive and then going into debt. Not really, but it just looks funny. So I hope that clears things up. I mean, this protocol would need to consistently bring in TitanX in order to sustain itself, right? It would need to bring in hundreds of billions of TitanX each time, aside from the initial trillions that it would need in order to get a pool position up front, and then it would consistently need to bring in hundreds of billions of TitanX in, or ETH value, in the equivalent ETH value, in order to pay its own protocol fee to sustain itself. So that's a pretty intense ask for a protocol. Usually protocols aren't able to, they rely on the underlying premise. They don't have a continuous premise in order to bring in this much economic energy, right? So I hope this clears the air. Torus protects stakers, and it disincentivizes people from, making malicious actions and trying to essentially game the entire system. If you want to game the system, you've got to pay to make the system work for you and everybody else, and it might cost you more than you're hoping for, especially when you're staking when you should be creating, right? So I hope this makes sense. I hope people are excited about Torus, and I hope you're seeing just how powerful the system is going to be to protect people that are in the system from someone trying to just game the system completely. So thanks for watching, and have a wonderful day.